Welcome to another session with Guru Wonder. I'm your host, Gurvinder Singh. It's fashionable to drink alcohol and look for the good times. Alcohol has a very interesting history and not so pleasant a history as it is made out to be. I wanted to talk about alcohol, the monster. The origin of the word alcohol comes from the Arabic Al-Kuhul, literally meaning monster. A monster, as per Middle East folklore, that seizes and consumes the spirit, and is the origin of the English word ghul, which again means monster. In alchemy, just as alcohol extracts essential oils from substances, drinking alcohol has the same effect of drawing out the human spirit. As a result, alcohol renders the body more susceptible to harmful foreign energies. This is why distilled alcohol beverages are also called spirits. What happens when we consume alcohol? When we consume alcohol excessively, people tend to black out. They are unable to remember what happened. During this period, the soul is possessed by dark negative forces, which numbs the body and makes the mind unable to sense. That is why the Persians have for millennia termed alcohol as sharab, meaning shaitani pani or satanic water. Surprisingly, in Farsi, alcohol is also called daru, meaning medicine. This is because when alcohol is consumed directly or along with some other ingredients and herbs in small quantities, it functions as a medicine and even as an elixir. Studies have shown that consuming alcohol in small quantities occasionally is beneficial, but in larger quantities is highly addictive and extremely harmful, even deadly, because the ghoul completely consumes the being, body, mind, and spirit. The question is, how little is little and how much is too much? Abstinence is considered safest, and that is why nearly all civilizations and religions have prohibited the consumption of alcohol. Because alcohol is accepted, especially in the West, as so ingrained into their society that not much research has been done into the harmful effects of alcohol. But Dr. David Nutt, a very renowned doctor in the UK, conducted extensive research on the benefits and the harm caused by alcohol consumption. According to him, alcohol is the greatest curse on humanity. Take, for example, in the UK, on any day, 40% of the ICU beds are occupied by people that have suffering from some alcohol-related trauma or disease or bad health. And there exists hardly any family in the UK in which at least one member has not been adversely affected by alcohol. Comparable studies in India showed that the situation of alcoholism is very serious. The highly lucrative business of production and sale of alcohol for recreational purposes was introduced into India by the British. Before that, alcohol and alcoholism was virtually unknown by the Indian masses. Even now, it is socially frowned upon. In India, women rarely drink. Most of the drinking is done by men. Studies have shown that alcohol is probably the only recreational drug amongst drug users that triggers violence. Hence, the incidence of domestic violence have a direct correlation with alcohol consumption. How does it look? How does the global picture of alcoholism look? It is highest in Europe, with about 7.5% of the people there suffering from some alcohol-related problem of the population. And it is lowest among the Mediterranean and Islamic regions of the world. It varies in the other parts of the world between these two extremes. And what's the breakup of deaths due to alcohol consumption? Almost 50% of the deaths are caused by liver cirrhosis, 30% by oral and other cancers, 22% of the deaths are caused by interpersonal violence, people fighting among themselves, 22% by self-harm, 15% lead to traffic injuries and deaths, 12% by tuberculosis, and 12% by liver cancer. Can the problem be solved? Sure. It is difficult, but not impossible. People say just simply prohibit it. But simply prohibiting it socially and legally only drives the entire problem underground. And once it goes underground, it's very difficult to understand and cope with. Take, for example, the vice-like grip of the mafia in America and how it became such a socially and destructive, powerful force. Driving most of the crimes is directly attributable to prohibition on alcohol sale and consumption. This allowed them to amass huge wealth and become extremely powerful and therefore extremely destructive. Prohibition empowered criminals both on the street and in boardrooms, and simultaneously corrupting police and law enforcement agencies, politicians and government servants. Eventually, alcohol has corroded all of society. Question is, if it is so dangerous, why is alcohol perfectly legal? Not only is alcohol consumption permitted, it is promoted. Governments love the concept of taxing the hell out of it, generating taxes and revenues while appearing to be holier than thou, that we have increased their taxes to stamp out alcohol consumption. Manufacturers and businesses love the huge profit margins. And you know, the funny thing about this is that it's a recession-proof business. People will drink all the time, and it even grows. The police and officials love the bribes they receive, and the media loves the huge advertisement revenue they get by the promotion of alcohol. Capitalist societies or communist societies, I remember my visits to the Soviet Union, the amount of vodka that was consumed was unimaginable. It was very, very high. So in any society where people are looking for escape from their tedious, oppressive lives, alcohol and increasingly also consumption of other drugs provides people, these very people, these frustrated people, an outlet, if even for a short spell. Not surprisingly, incidence of alcoholism is the least where the social and civilizational fabric is strong, where the work may be tough, but it's not exploitive, where faith in religion is strong, where families are close-knit, light of hope for a better future burns. That means the quality of life needs to be better. But these conditions cannot be legislated. They have to go ground up. And these are conditions that only parents teachers, employers, and social leaders, etc., can help create. The new year has just begun. I'd like to say cheers for the new year, but I'd rather say I wish you have much to remain cheerful about in 2023. On an end note, I just had an afterthought which I'd like to share with you, is that take the case of Tamil Nadu, the state in one of the large states in India. TASMAC is a monopoly of the state government. 16% of that state government's revenues come from the monopoly sale of and production of sale of alcohol. They are working to increasing this all the time. If we want to reduce alcohol consumption, we've got to stop glorifying it. Stop believing that all these people and these beautiful people in these advertisements are really having a good time. They're having a rotten time, and they're making sure that if we consume alcohol, we too might go down that path. Well, I wish you have much to be cheerful about in 2023. I thank you for joining me on this video and look forward to seeing you on my channel again. If you like this presentation, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good day. This is Gurinder Singh signing off.